Everyone, welcome back to the Wilson House. My name is Lynn Wilson and you are at home with Lynn Wilson and
Graeme Wilson.
This is my husband. Many of you have asked us to do a testimonial, I guess you'd say, on basic budgets for broke people. So if I keep looking down, I wrote some notes to try and kind of keep me on track, keep us somewhat organized, and not go into too many rabbit trails. I don't want this to be like, a huge, long video and boring and all the rest of it. So with that being said, the whole idea of this is not that you can make a cookie cutter out of this and it'll be perfect every time. It will not be. Every family is different and every individual is different. Every budget is different. Every need is different. We have tried multiple budgets, styles of budgeting, and so on. We've read books on it. We even went for budget counseling. All of it has helped. All of it has sort of brought us to the direction that we're in now. Now, we started off, both of us, I'd say you would agree with me, neither one of us knew what a budget was, how to write a budget. We laugh when we watch I Love Lucy and she tells Ricky she doesn't know how to do a budget. Well, that was us. We were a mess. And we were innocent kids that got married and didn't know what we were doing. Yeah. So we thought you got paid on Friday night and you went out and you spent money. You bought clothes, bought something for the house, went out to dinner, you went to the movies, and then whatever was left is what you paid the bills with.
Yeah.
We learned hard and fast that didn't work. Well, then credit card companies, because we started out, started with good credit, they were enticing us with, guess what? You can get a credit card. Oh yeah, good interest, this, that, and the next thing. Now, credit cards themselves are not bad. It's how you use them and so on and so forth. So we were, I think, almost in a competition with each other, who could get the better credit card and who can get more, not that we were, but you know how it goes. If you've been down that rabbit trail, you know what it's like. And then on top of that, we started off with my husband not having health insurance at some points. Now, this was early on in our marriage and things were different 30-some years ago. And health insurance wasn't like it is now that you have to have it, and it wasn't as readily available. So my husband would land in the hospital from his seizures and we'd have tons and tons of medical bills. When we delivered our oldest son, I had a cesarean, and only part of that was covered by insurance, and then we lost our insurance, and so you add on the lack of knowing how to do a budget, running up credit cards, not having medical insurance, and just life takes over. Car breaks down, you get a flat tire, all those things you have to add in for expenses, and when you don't know what you're doing, you have a complete mess, and that's what we had. So we did go for budget counseling, and we had to learn how to write a budget, and we learned how to write a budget. And what they did was helpful because it sort of taught us how to put money aside, how to reorganize our thinking, things like that. So I would say, again, I'm looking down to read my notes. I would say, Graeme and I talked about this the other day, the first thing, now again, let me just specify this. This is not a rocket science type of budget that you're going to go and write all this down and it's going to be a miracle worker and fix you. It will not.
Right.
But it is tips that we've learned that are very, very basic. Graeme and I are both simplistic. If it's complicated, we just get overwhelmed and we can't figure it out, right?
Definitely.
And Graeme, with having seizures, the numbers and the figures and the anxiety of paying the bills kind of does a number on his head. So we've had to learn too that that's not a good role for him. He's great at making the phone calls if a phone call needs to be made, or following up on stuff. But I actually do the figuring, and I'm good at it. I enjoy it. So we've had to learn who does what best. But the first thing, before you do anything, take some advice from a sign I have in my kitchen. You've seen it over my kitchen sink. Your attitude will determine your direction. And I think when we changed our attitude on money, finances, buying things. And we changed our attitude of, Graeme and I just decided, and you could jump in anytime, you have something to add here, that we're going to do it. That's it. We do that sometimes. There's a corner of the house or a room in the house that's a disaster. And I'll say to Graeme, I'm done. I am absolutely done. That is it. It is final. Or Graeme, I'll come home from work and Graeme will say, I've had it. We're going to clean that room, or we're going to clean out the shed, or we're going to clean out the car, or whatever the case might be. Like, you're fed up and you're done. And sometimes you have to hit bottom before you can move forward. And if you haven't really hit bottom, a lot of times you sort of, yeah, we'll get to it, or today I'm good, tomorrow I'm not. But really changing your attitude that this is it. I'm going to make a difference, I'm going to make a change, and I want to be better. I think that's number one in moving forward. Now, this budget is not for anybody that's rich. It will not make you rich quick. It is exactly what it says. It is a basic budget for broke people. So if you're broke, I don't care how you got broke, whether it's you messed up on your credit cards, you don't have enough money, or at least you don't think you have enough money, or you've ran up credit cards, whatever, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is, if you're in debt, you're in debt. Doesn't matter how you got there or what the debt is. The bottom line is you are in debt, and you need to do your best to get above water. And I will tell you that we are speaking from experience. I think both you and I have felt that we were suffocating, we were drowning. I had an uncle throw me in the pool when I was, I'm guessing, 6 years old. And I remember being thrown in the pool, being frightened, and watching and feeling myself floating to the bottom and things turning black. And someone had to pull me out of the water, and I was gagging. But I remember to this day, and I'm frightened to go in the water because I'm afraid to go near water and that I'm going to drown. I can swim, but don't come near me when I'm swimming. Well, it might be the same for you with your budget. You might be afraid that you're going to drown again, and I can't do this again. I'm telling you, get a life jacket and dive in and learn how to swim, and you can do it. And get the biggest life jacket you can, whatever that is, and decide in your own attitude that you're going to do this.
Yeah, I will agree with Lynn with that. Is that one thing that as young couples we have learned, and this really took time, was the fact that, and it was hard as a man, and we struggled with that, was the fact that taking advice from other people was that men always do the money and wives always do this, and yet
that was kind of a mindset that was built into us growing up.
Right. And the problem was that, as Lynn says, I am not good with figures. I never have been, and because of everything that I have, I'm just not built that way. And Lynn is. And it was like, why am I struggling doing it that way when we are basically designed as a team? We got married as a team. Why are we working against each other? Which is basically what we were doing. When God put us together as a team, we need to work and use our skills together and do it that way. So finally, after a number of years, we said, just kind of put everybody's advice aside and do it our way. And so what we did is we decided to do it that way, and Lynn took over the bills. Not that I just washed my hands of it, but that let her do it, and then I still participated in it, but
in a different way.
In a different way, and I helped out in other ways that I could, and all of a sudden, things just flowed.
The pressure was taken off.
The pressure was just so much better.
So I think what Graeme, just said is good advice. Now, you might be a family of one, and you might not be good with budgets and figures and turning around and saying, well, I don't have a spouse or someone that, with me in the home. I get that. So in our case, we're a couple. In your case, you might not be, or maybe you are. Maybe you both stink at numbers. So that's a possibility. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I do. I can tell you that maybe you need to reach out to someone that you trust. Use discernment, use wisdom, that you trust, that you can say, hey, can you help me organize? Can you help me pull this together? If my husband wasn't here, my oldest son I taught him everything we should have done right and we should have known. I taught him, and he's excelled in it. We're living proof that you can teach your kids the right thing. And my son is debt-free, owns a home, and is living debt-free, and went into his marriage in debt with him and his fiance, and they were in debt when they got married, and he decided in the first year, we're working triple, quadruple jobs, whatever it takes, but by our first year, end of our first year of marriage, we will be debt-free, and we will live cash-only, debt-free attitudes. And they've done that 8 years later. They're still doing it. So, maybe you're both good at figures, maybe you're not, but if you can't do it on your own, I would highly suggest you find someone that can at least get you started, give you a jump start, and kind of keep you in check once in a while, that you truly trust. Don't just grab your neighbor or, somebody here or there. Somebody that you trust.
Exactly.
So that's the best advice, if you want to say, that I can give you on that. So, okay, number one, check the attitude. And I told you this is basic, so I'm not giving you anything that's too hard to do. The next thing was cutting back. Let me say, with cutting back, one of the things that in our counseling session they said, learn to say, I can't afford it. We've tweaked that to say, I can't afford it now. That's not to say tomorrow you can't afford it, next week, next year, maybe it's 5 years from now. Maybe there's a house that you want and you can say, I can't afford that house. Well, I can't afford it now. Who's to say if you don't work hard and things change, you'll get it? Now, that's not a promise. That's not a guarantee. Life is life, and people don't want to hear no anymore. People feel entitled. If you haven't noticed that, just, go hit the local store. And people feel like they deserve everything. I'm not saying you don't deserve the best and you don't deserve things. But those of us who have been through life and have had hard hits in life know that no matter what, sometimes you've tried and you just can't seem to get out of it. Or I have a husband with a disability. I didn't know that 30 plus years into our marriage, he would not be able to work a decent job and bring home a decent paycheck. I didn't know that he'd be on disability the rest of his life. I didn't know that I'd be working for a nonprofit organization making a very small income. I could quit. I could go and get a better job, but I really like what I do. It suits our family. It's where our family feels that we were called to be and to do, and that's where we are. If it means you making a change financially and getting a better job, so be it. But cutting back, you need to cut back. How did we cut back? So Graeme learned that every time he got your cable bill, a few months in or a year later, it seemed like it went way up. So someone told us, you realize you have a contract with them for so long. Now this is New Jersey. This is our account with our Comcast account. Every state, every area is different. But take the little bit of advice you can from this and see how it fits you. But Graeme now calls our cable company to find out, when is my contract, or whatever you want to call it, agreement expiring. And Graeme will call about a month before and start negotiating. Okay, what's the deal you can give me? What can I get? The last time he did it, I think it was like $20 less a month.
Yeah.
And we got more for the money. So we didn't want regular TV because we couldn't afford it. We were just going to use our Roku and streaming and all that. But we were able to get regular TV with, basic channels and our internet, and it was $20 cheaper a month. So he got that package. I think that's coming due soon for you to call again.
That's right.
But we were able to lower our bill. We were able to, our cell phone.
That's right.
That was huge. So I get a discount at work for one particular provider. So we went with that, thinking that was good. And our bill kept going up and up and up, and we weren't happy with customer service. Well, needless to say, Graeme decided to call all the cell phone services in our area and compare notes. How much? What's this? What can we do? He'll buy you out of the contract you're in and all that kind of stuff. Well, with his diligence, we ended up switching to a company that was $120 less a month. That's a big amount.
Yeah.
And you check it every year pretty much, right?
Exactly.
And we'll see, is there anything better, any better deals, and so on. So maybe cut back that way. Food shopping. I know, right now food's expensive. Okay, how can you cut back? Well, do you have to buy the brand name? There's certain things I like the brand name of. I like the brand name of mayonnaise. I don't like the store brand. But let me tell you, if it means, buying 2 for the price of 1 and getting the store brand, I'll suffer through it. There's certain things, okay, you want to get the store brand, I get that. But cutting back and maybe not buying the store brand, maybe not buying the bigger box of something. Learning how to be, as we call it, we're never broke, we told our kids. We're always smart shoppers.
Mm-hmm.
We've changed our attitude with our kids. We didn't want our kids growing up saying, oh, my parents are broke, they have no money. My kids
It's a
grew
big
up.
thing.
Yeah, it is a big thing.
It is a big thing.
Our kids grew up saying that we're smart shoppers. And so that's the way we did it. What else? Cutting back. I'm trying to think.
Car insurance.
Car insurance. Our car insurance was pretty low, and then all of a sudden our rate went up, and we're like, okay, nope, not having it. Called around, checked around. We asked friends, family, who do you use? What do you like? So on and so forth. And lo and behold, we probably cut it back by about 2/3. We cut it back quite a bit. We keep up with that. Check on the rates. Who's got what? Who can offer you more for your money? Even going back to food, I know what I wanted to say with that. Discount grocery stores. Don't, no pun intended, don't discount a discount grocery store. Looking for seconds. Make sure you hit the BOGOs. Get the buy one, get one free. The buy one, get 2 free. Learning how to cook from scratch. Okay, that's not everybody's thing. Again, this is not, I don't want to keep saying the word again, but it's so important. This is not cookie cutter. I might be able to make homemade bread. To you, that is beyond your expertise or whatever. Okay, then don't make homemade bread. Buy your loaf of bread. But do what you can do. Kind of look, you're going to have to look hard. What can I cut back on? There are ways you can cut back on. So I'm not going to go on any more about that. You've got to look at your expenses and where you can cut back. Okay. Make sure in your budget every month, without fail, you put money aside for you as spending money.
Definitely.
We didn't for a long time. We didn't buy each other Christmas presents. We didn't buy each other birthday presents. We didn't buy I love you presents. We didn't do nothing. We did nothing for a long time. And we starved ourselves to death in terms of enjoyment in life and freedom and just feeling okay for the moment. And we obviously wanted to, whatever money we had, put toward our kids. But we found that we were starving. And then we decided, listen, I don't remember how we did it, but we decided to do it. If it means you go into Dollar Tree and spending $1 on each other, then spend $1 and buy each other a new pen or a new notebook, or, get some car stuff for the guys or whatever. You can spend $1 on each other. But getting back to having money, if it's $5 a month that you put aside for spending money, you cannot starve yourself to death in terms of your budget. Spend the allow yourself, give yourself grace, and allow yourself to have a few dollars pocket money. If Grandma wants an ice cream or a special cup of coffee, or I want to go to the Dollar Tree, whatever that your budget, maybe it's only $1, that's okay. Maybe it's $5, whatever it is, allow yourself to have some spending money. That's important.
Like Lynn is saying, there are so many things that you can do. Thinking back to when my older son was young, even, when they have the throw-out days.
Oh, yeah. As we call it, God's gifts on the side of the road.
The rocking horse.
Oh, my goodness. He was turning 2, I think. Maybe. Yeah, probably 2 years old. And my husband comes home with, you know, some of you are our age and the rocking horses that that went back and forth. We found one. Graeme brought it home and washed it really good and took some of the rust off and painted. I don't even know what we did. Our son played with that rocking horse for years. And years and years. It was free. We had no money. I remember that Christmas going, you know, we didn't have $1 to go to the Dollar Tree. I don't even think there was a Dollar Tree back then. We just prayed about it, and Graeme comes home. It was probably 11 o'clock at night. You were working the late shift with this rocking horse. I was like, oh my word. And finding things. We find things. Listen, you saw my tea cabinet. Many of you like that. That was out of the garbage. The other cabinet I use for a pantry, I've gotten so many comments. Where did you get your cabinet? From the garbage. Now, I'm not saying go pick somebody's trash can and pull out a banana peel, but, you know, people on big throw-out day, people throw out furniture because they don't know what else to do with it. And don't be embarrassed about it. Everybody does it. Just tell them At Home with Lynn Wilson sent you. Okay. Can I go on, or you want to add? Okay.
You go ahead.
Okay, here's the basic thing. There are two things. Two things that for us made huge difference. You ready? You got a pen? Gonna write this down? Okay. Two main things that I'm telling you rocked our world in terms of getting on a budget, staying on a budget, being able to afford things, moving forward in our budget, and breathing. Just breathing. If you are in debt, I know you're not breathing. You're probably hyperventilating. Okay, number one, get rid of your car payment. What? That was an advice that we got when we were taking a budgeting counseling thing, and we didn't agree with them. We did not. Did not agree with them. I didn't understand it. I think I was frightened, and I'm thinking, you're taking everything away from me. You're telling me I can't. Okay, here's the deal. If you can trade your car in for a smaller car payment, do it. If you're getting close to paying off your car, do it. If you have a used car, keep up the maintenance. Our thing has been, when the car maintenance equates a monthly bill of a car payment, it might be time to consider a different car. If you're already forking out that month every month on a monthly payment for car repairs, you might as well have a better car. We got rid of, how many years did we say it's now? Let me think. 12, 15 years? Somewhere 12 to 15 years. I can't remember. Can't do math that quick. Yes, I'm good at numbers, but not that quick. We paid off our one car, and it was layers upon layers of going from one car to a lesser car to a smaller payment and so on, to the point where we got a decent car and we paid it off, and we kept up with the oil changes and all those types of things, the general maintenance. And we said, we don't want to take on a car payment. Well, we had that for 3 years?
Oh, yeah.
No car payment. Oh, let me tell you, that is what put us over the other side, for being able to have money to pay off our bills, to stay on budget, and so on and so forth. Get rid of your car payment, or do whatever you can to lower the car payment. When you pay off your car, don't go out and say, woo, paid off that car, time to get another one. No. Allow yourself time to breathe. Take that car payment and invest it into your budget. Your whole goal is to get out of debt. What's the saying that we learned? You're spending money you don't have to impress people you don't like with things you don't need. Do you find yourself like that? Yeah, we're spending money we don't have to impress people that we don't even like, and buying things we don't even need. Most of us need nothing. Most of us have clothes, shelter, food, and a car. Might not be the best, it might not be perfect. It is okay. If you're eating macaroni and cheese 5 nights a week and only doing meat 2 nights a week, you will survive. It is not forever. You cut back and you do what you have to do to be able to live life better in a short while. I guess the best way I can explain it is this. We talked about, if you haven't seen my video, I talked about a $5 stockpile, how to start. Many people don't even have a stockpile and don't know where to start, or can't afford to start a stockpile. I can't afford it. You can't afford it. So if you have $1 this week, I want you to go buy a can of tuna fish at the Dollar Tree, or Walmart, wherever. Next week, I want you to look back at that and say, you know what? Last week I didn't have a stockpile, and I didn't think I could afford it. But fast forward a whole week, I have a stockpile. I only have one thing in it. I got a can of tuna. I'm one thing ahead. It's the same with money. You say you can't afford it, I can't do it, and all this. But if you saved $1 this week, next week, we'll look back and go, you know, last week I didn't have anything in that jar. This week I have $1. I have $1 in my stash. You need to have, they say, a minimum of $1,000 for an emergency stash. Something comes up, you've got to do, you got to whatever. You got to have that. I know $1,000 for some of us is like mind-blowing. $1 is a lot for some people. But start with $1 and work your way up. Start with 1 can of tuna this week. Next week, buy something else. The next week, you buy something else. If you spend $1 a week, at the end of the month, you've spent $4. You have 4 cans of something in your stockpile, and you're that much ahead. And it's the same with saving money. The other thing that we did, we got rid of the car payment. We lowered our monthly, whatever we could do, our regulars. We definitely changed our attitude. We learned to say, I can't afford it now, and we don't feel guilty about it. No. You called us up now and said, hey, you want to go out for Chinese? You know what, guys? Tough week this week, can't afford it. But you know what? How about you want to just get together for coffee? Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
Our friends, they have no problem with that. And if they had a problem with that, you don't want them for your friends. Now I sound like a mother giving you advice, right? Yes, that's what our mothers would tell us. But the other thing that we did, and to me, it was about 2 or 3 years that really, really made a difference, is we pay everything on the first of the month. Now, I know, what do you mean the first of the month? I don't get paid till this and that. If you can get your income tax money, if you can take your stimulus money, if you can do, you know, you might have to build up to that to be able to pay things on the first of the month, do it. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Pay all your bills. Do your once a month shopping. Whatever, everything that you can possibly do on the first of the month, do it. Now I know, like our car insurance, I can't do that, but it comes out, okay. 95%, whatever you can do on the first of the month, do it, get it done, it's over, that's it, kaput. And then just know you have these 3 things that are pending till the end of the month. Okay, end of the month comes. You've paid all your bills, you're not spending any money. Okay, that's the other thing, no spending money. You pay your bills on the first, you pay the 1 or 2 things, you don't spend any money. You've bought your food, you filled the car with gas, you paid your rent, yada, yada, yada. End of the month comes, last paycheck. And you look back and you go, oh, we have $80 left over this month. Okay. Maybe you know, between your groceries, you got some sales. Maybe somebody invited you out to dinner, over to their house. Yeah, or maybe just cut back, whatever. However, you have $80 left. What do we do with the $80? Well, you know what? We've been dying for a pizza and going out to the movies. Are you in? Want to go on a date?
There you go.
Okay. Go on a date. Take your kids out for ice cream. Do something. Maybe just go to the boardwalk, or like, you know, we're near the boardwalk. What else? Go take a walk by the ocean, or go by a lake, climb a mountain, something. Maybe just go for a walk and then go buy ice cream. So you got out together, got some fresh air, and you get a treat of an ice cream. Now, it could be $1 you have left. It could be $800. It could be $80. It could be $68. Whatever is left over. That money right there, you divide and conquer. You divide and allow yourself the freedom to get a pizza or some Chinese food or an ice cream or something, or go to the movies or go roller skating, or, you know, skydiving, whatever you want to do. Go and do something with that money. But then take some of it, like if you had 80, maybe put 40 into that fund and take 40 and start paying off another bill. I'm telling you, change the attitude, pay the first of the month, cut back on what you can cut back on, get rid of the car payment. We have not had a car payment in 12 to 15 years. Do we drive a brand new car? No. Does it have a few dents and dings? Yes. It is a 2002 Honda Odyssey. So we got it. Honda is a good car. 2002, guys. We're not driving a fancy Rolls Royce here. I'm not, you know, telling you that, oh, well, this is what you need to do, but we're living high on the hog. We're living basic budgets for broke people on a daily basis. But I'll tell you one thing, we've been able to put a little money in the savings. We've been able to get that much closer to being out of debt. It took you years to get into debt. It will take you some years to get out of debt. This is not something that will happen at, somebody's going to send you a check for $1 million and you're going to be debt free. If you don't change your attitude, you're always going to be in debt. We've learned that too.
Right.
If you don't, you don't tell yourself enough is enough, and that's it. I'm done. I'm finished. We're moving forward. We're out of here. We're going to fix this. So we had to change our attitudes on that.
Right.
What else can I tell you? I don't know. Let me look at my notes. You have anything you want to add?
I think I'm good.
So, basic budgets for broke people. Change your attitude. Get rid of your car payment. Reduce what you can reduce. Do better food shopping. Make sure you're putting some money aside, even if it's $5 a month, for frivolous spending. I don't care what you spend it on. You could buy a bag of marbles. No judgment. If that's what thrills your soul, buy your bag of marbles. Make sure you're paying on the first of the month. You might not be able to do that now. September 1st is rolling around and you might say, Lynn, there's no way I can do it. You build up to that. Remember, everything you're doing is you're building up to it. Graeme and I, Lord willing, will be out of debt 100%. 100% in about 6 months. We're going to have a party on YouTube when we are out of debt. We got to do, all right, guys, we're going to have a party together. If you are debt free, I want you to leave a comment below. I want to give you the biggest thumbs up that I know how to give you. If you have decided to take on the challenge of basic budgets for broke people and to have financial freedom to be able to breathe, I don't care how far debt you're in, you can do it. We've done it. I did not tell you facts and figures, but we were deeply in debt. We're not talking, $4,000. It was up there. Trust me, it was up there. Yeah, some of it was our own stupid mistakes.
Right.
Major stupid mistakes. Some of it was just life. We all live life. We all have problems. It happens. You can do it. You can do it, guys. I hope this video was a little bit of a help. I hope it was inspirational to say, you know what? Lynn and Graeme did it. We can do it too. Thanks so much for coming over to our home, both from myself and from Graeme. We're thankful for each and every one of you. Thank you to all our new subscribers. Hope you guys stick around. And yes, the Target video with my sister on how to save money, doing the Target circle and the Target gift cards will be coming up in the next few days. I hope you have a blessed and a wonderful day. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much.
Thank you.